button on this. So my goal is to start the next 10 weeks, as this will be week 1 of the next 10 weeks of kind of a just going over each of the topics that were put in the each of the topics that were put in that were presented to us at the event that went to there in Michigan. And I will tell those of you in Michigan and those of you who aren't in Michigan, I had a great time there. Saw a part of Michigan I'd never seen before, and but a part of Michigan that I would definitely go back and see again. So it's a beautiful, beautiful area, and I appreciate Terry met us up there, which is super cool, and obviously Danny and Carla. So thank you guys for being there and making it special for us, because it really was nice. Like I was blown away by how beautiful that area, that part of the country is. So very, very pretty place. All right, so I'm going to start this off with a little bit of background, and then I'm going to touch on some highlights of some of the stuff that was hit on by us. Carla, Danny, I know you guys were both there. If there's something that's on one of these topics that you feel like really compelled to share, please, throw a comment out or whatever. But I'll try to move along this, and I really want to try to keep these still in that 30-ish minute kind of time frame, right? So I don't want to start dragging this back out again. But the Michigan event was an event that everybody is going to start seeing happening more of, because it's still unknown yet if NYKO is going to be in person, right? That's still they still don't know. In the meantime, what you're going to see is a bunch of these small, what I refer to as more intimate events. I really liked it. I like these type of events. I feel like they're value. And Cindy Walter set a bar for these events, and the fact that we were there for like 4 or 5 hours of actual training, and then the rest of the day was either like one day we did the wine thing, and then we did some other stuff. So it was a lot of fun built into the event. So I really hope that we're going to put one on. We're going to put on a Super Saturday here in Phoenix area. So that's coming up, and that's going to be on October 16th. So if you're in or plan on being in the Phoenix area, October 16th, there's going to be a Super Saturday here. But if you see one of these events in an area that you want to go to, then I'd recommend that you go, because I think you'll get a lot out of it, even if it's just one day or if it's a couple days. I would ask you to kind of invest some time in it. Some of the things that I'll talk about is just what I'm going to go first is just some real highlights that I noted in my notes. Now, each week I'll touch on a few more of these, so I'm not going to touch on all of them, but I'm just going to give you a few that were comments that were made that kind of stuck out at me. So if you want to write these down, you'll see why they kind of stuck out. Isagenix, running this as a business. So today's topic is professionalism, seeing this as a profession. Something that you need to recognize that, and this is also an Eric Warwick comment, doing Isagenix as a business, you are attempting to run a voluntary sales team. Okay, it's really important. Not only are all the people that are on your sales team volunteers, but so are you. You can't fire them. You can fire them from your time, but you can't fire them from the team. You don't have to like the person that's above you, the person that brought you in, your sponsor, or anybody above them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to get along with them. And you don't have to care if they like you or don't like you either, because they don't impact your ability to build your team. Okay. It's not like going to work where your boss doesn't like you, and so then your boss gives you shitty shifts, right? It's not like that. You are 100% in charge of building your team. Okay. So you are running a volunteer sales team. And not only is it a volunteer, but it is a very high turnover volunteer sales team. Okay. Meaning that people are going to come in, they're going to do things, and they're going to leave. And you may have people come in, do great things, and then they still leave. Okay. Very important aspect. Next, when you're running this as a business, it's your responsibility to identify people in your downline who want to do something. Because the people that show up in your world that are sales team members may not have been brought on by you, or they may not have been brought on by somebody you know well. Okay. So if Jennifer shows up and she's doing all she's doing, and then she quits someday, but she brought in somebody that's actually doing the business, it's going to be difficult for me to reach out to him because Jen and I know each other more virtually than anything else, but we know each other from communication, but I don't know a lot of the people that she's brought in. So if Jen leaves, it's going to be really difficult for me to help build that team. Okay. So that's something that I'm just asking you guys to kind of keep that in mind. The next one is, this was kind of a comment that was made that I thought was really good. And as far as like when you're talking about the nutrition, it was, Carla, do you remember what it was? They said that, oh, here it is, functional beverage. I thought that was a great word. When they talk, or great phrase, right? When you talk about isogenics as a product, it's a functional beverage, right? Unlike thinking about, oh, it's a shake, it's a meal, it's this, it's that, you know, what is it? It is a functional beverage, meaning it's something that you're going to drink that has a specific function. Okay, I thought that was a great word that you guys could throw out there. All right, and then the last one before I jump right into this. This was another great comment that that Sarah Richter made. She says, it doesn't matter your condition, you always need great nutrition. Okay, so I thought that was a great comment, right? It doesn't matter your condition. So when someone's saying, hey, look, is it good for me? Is it good for the, it doesn't matter your condition. You always need great nutrition, right? All right. So that's a couple of that I kind of highlighted to kind of get us started on the idea of professionalism. So professionalism, what is it, right? In order to look at isogenics as a profession, you need to look at you need to be okay with network marketing as a profession. And a lot of people aren't okay with that, right? You think about it and you're like, can I really, you know, is this a profession? So I would ask you, and I don't need you to raise your hand or anything like that, but I want to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I have no belief at all, and 10 being I don't care who says it's not, I feel confident in arguing with them that it is. Where are you at in your belief scale of network marketing being a business? Carla's like 10, right? Carla's been in it for 20 something years, right? Jen says 10. That's fantastic. Marion, 10. That's great. And if you're not at a 10, right? Because I'll be honest, sometimes I'm like a 9, sometimes I'm a 10, but sometimes I'm a 9, right? Depending on who I'm, you know, debating it with or where I'm at with it. But I'm a solid 9, right? But I could say that, you know, I would say that being a cop was a great career, and I could probably say that was a 9 sometimes too, right? So it's to me 9, 10, right? All day long. But in order for you to feel that way, now you got to say, okay, look, I believe it is, but do your actions meet your words? Okay. So if you are a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, do your actions meet your words? Do the things that you do and the way that you talk about this as an opportunity, do they match? Right? Because if they don't, then we've got to adjust that, right? So how do we adjust? How do you adjust? How do you make the adjustments to make yourself feel like, okay, look, this is a profession that I can move forward with? Okay. And I wrote this one down as well. I highlighted this one. If I forget what I can't control, then I will crush that which I can control. Okay. And that's part of why I think a lot of people miss the opportunity and how to make this into a business, how to make this into a very profitable business. Because we keep remembering, we keep trying to bring back all the negative thoughts that are told to us instead of just forgetting about them. We keep bringing back my mom said this, my dad said this, my best friend said this, my sister said this, my doctor said this, right? So every time that you think about, oh, this is great, then we forget, we keep bringing that back, and then we don't crush anything because we keep letting those old emotions pull us back. Okay. And I'll be very honest with you guys on something. I was talking to my dad the other day. he's, because he's out of the hospital now and he's not getting a lot of exercise. So he sits around a lot. So he's gained some weight. And he's telling me that, yeah, and this was quote from my father, right? April, I don't know if he told you this or not. He said, I need your mom to get me a diet pill or something. I need to lose some of this weight. And I'm like, I was almost speechless, right? So, but I kind of blew it by, right? I'm like, okay, now I'm going to let you guys know something, right? I'll let everybody know this, but my credit card is on my parents' Isagenix account. They buy whatever they want every month, right? That's what they do. So they don't have any excuse as to why I can't have it, okay? But when I start talking, and I know a lot of you have had this happen, in fact, it happened to me today on a one-to-one. Soon as they say something, and then you start saying, well, you could do this or this or this, you can tell when that person doesn't feel like your information is valid. Yeah, I've done that. Well, I'm doing fruits and vegetables. I get that. There's still a lot of sugar in that. Yeah, but it's not the same. Right? So us as a profession, us providing this business as a profession also means that we have to be okay with people not being okay with us being that person. And that's okay, you guys. Honestly, it is. You've got to accept the fact that not everyone is going to see this as their thing, whether it's the business or whether it's the nutrition. Because as soon as you get stuck on, I've got to convince this person, you are losing. When you see yourself switching from the conversation of saying, I'm offering advice to I'm trying to convince you, stop. Okay? Because professionals don't do that. Okay? Professionals do not convince. We provide the information and we allow people to make their decision. Okay? You need to have enough knowledge, and Carla talked about this last night. You need to have enough knowledge so that you can provide good information. How do you get that? Podcasts, educational training, Isagenix business back office under resources and podcasts, right? All of those things will help you, okay? The other thing that help you is other people's stories. The other thing that will help you is, would you mind if I invited you into a Facebook group where this information is discussed regularly, where you can search for that information? Oh, I don't know the answer to that. Well, would you mind if I invite you to a Facebook group where this information is discussed? Right? I'm not inviting you into a cult. I'm not inviting you into something crazy. I'm inviting you into a Facebook group where the conversation that you are asking about is discussed. Okay? That is a level of professionalism. Trying to convince you that bananas have more sugar in them than an Isagenix shake, you've lost the fight. Okay? You've already lost. Well, it's got a lot of sugar in it. Less sugar than a banana. Well, yeah, but stop. Recognize the fact that they're not going to listen to you past that statement. If you'd like some information on that, I can invite you into a Facebook group where that information is shared. And if they say no, they don't care, they don't want to hear it, right? So they're going to continue to go forward and do whatever else it is they're going to do, okay? All right. Let's see. All right. This one I'm going to touch on because I thought that this one was these next, and I'm going to give you all 6 of these right off the bat, okay? And then we're going to, well, I'm still doing pretty good on time. All right. So
are you moving away from network marketing profession now?
No, this is I'm going to talk about how to improve your mindset on network marketing as a profession. Okay. So improving your mindset on network marketing profession. A lot of this, what I'm seeing and what I think about, and I think about the people that show on this call and everybody that's here, okay? I want you to think about your self-image as a professional in this business. And how are you going to improve that? Because most of the time, if you don't have the belief that you can do this business, it's probably a self-image thing, right? When you look at yourself and you think, can you stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself in front of a mirror and say, I'm going to earn whatever dollar it is, and there's no right or wrong answer on this, but when you look in a mirror, can you say, I know I'm going to earn this much money in the next 12 months in Isogenics? And know when you say it, you believe it. Okay. Can you do that? If you can't, then it's probably a self-image problem, right? And I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm just saying it's the way that you view yourself in this business. So one, and you guys are doing it tonight. Number one is immerse yourself around those that have the same mindset. Okay. So you guys getting on this call, you guys getting in the Facebook pages, you guys going to networking meetings, you guys getting together and hosting sip and samples. Sip and samples aren't just you trying to sell product. They're getting you around people who have the mindset that you've got, that they're looking for that opportunity, that nutrition, that something, right? So you've got to get around people that have the same mindsets and goals that you do. We talk about it here all the time. What is your circle? Do the people in your circle clap when you're successful in this business? If they don't, you've got the wrong circle. And I know that sucks, and that can be hard because you're sitting there going, well, but it's my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my cousin, whoever. They don't clap. They're not the right circle for this event, right? They're not the right circle. They're not going to promote you. They're not going to help you get there. Okay. Next one, increase your knowledge. I'll go back to Carla's call last night. That her call was on increase. A good portion of her call was on increasing your knowledge. How do I increase my knowledge? Okay. Get around people that are doing what you're doing. Read things that you need to read, or listen to things that you need to listen to, or watch things that you want to watch. There are so many resources, whether it's Isogenics back office, Isogenics YouTube, Isogenics resources, whatever it is, there's a ton of resources out there that will give it to you in the manner in which you prefer to get it, right? If Heidi was on this call, she would tell you the thing I dislike the most is a voice text. If you send me a voice text, the chance of me listening to it are almost non-existent. I hate them because I can read what you want to say faster, and you're probably going to mumble and stumble on a voice text. Whereas if you just typed it, it'd be much more concise. That's just me, right? I would rather read something than listen to it most of the time. Okay. So, but my point on that is there's different ways for you to receive the information. Make sure that you're receiving it the way you want it. And Carla, quit trying to send me a voice text. I can see you got your phone in your hand. You're going to start talking to me and send me a voice text or something. So that's the next one. Increase your knowledge. The next one, create, this is an important one, create and collect stories. How do I tell a weight loss story? I don't need to create a weight loss story. That's not going to happen. But I collect stories, right, from people that have done similar things, right? Things that those people are looking for. If somebody's looking for a weight loss, if a female is looking for a pregnancy story, Isogenics and pregnancy story, whatever it is, I'm going to use those stories that I've collected to share with that person. Okay. Somebody says, oh, I've got a broken windshield. How do I get it fixed? I've got a friend of mine that's what they do. Okay. I can use that exact same thing when somebody says, and I'll say it again just because I talk about it. Somebody I'm talking to says, well, I'm pregnant. I'm not sure if I can use that. I've got a friend of mine who uses the nutrition and they're pregnant, or just had a baby and used the nutrition, right? And I would name them right now because the person not just in my head, Michaela, right? I'd be like, oh, let me get Michaela on the phone, right? Because I'm going to share that information with you. So make sure that you're creating and collecting stories. Creating is, again, Carla talked about this last night, be a product of the product, right? Use the nutrition. Because if somebody says, what's the collagen do? And you don't use the collagen, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to use a story that you've collected versus a story that you've created. Now, this is where I'm going to sidestep just a bit. When somebody tells you, I want to use the nutrition, I want to be a product of the product before I can share, this is where you help them collect your story. Okay? Give them your story and give them permission because they may not think of it that way. Carla's like, yeah, well, Brent, I'll start using the nutrition and I'll start sharing it once I have gotten a story, once I see some results. Hey, Carla, that's cool. And I think that's fantastic. Just so you know, if you talk with someone and they're interested in what it's about, I can connect you with one of another group of people who have already experienced that. So you don't have, so you can share their story, right? Let me connect you with my friend Gail, right? And then that way, if she says they've got whatever issue, I know Gail has dealt with this already and she can help you share that story, just in case something comes up sooner. So give people the permission to use your story, okay? Or a connection that you have, right? All right, next one, daily action. Goes back towards profession. Is this your profession? Do you see this as a profession? Are you doing daily actions that indicate that you look at it as a profession? You are the CEO, and I know this can be kind of cheesy if you're saying, well, I make like $100 a month, right? Or less with Isagenix. How can I be the CEO? You are the CEO, right, of this business. So if you're not doing daily actions, then you're kind of the CEO of an empty ship, right? So what are your daily actions that you can do? You guys all know I'm going to say penny first, right? Because that is an easy go. That's an easy drop, right? You can do your penny first, but penny's not it. Penny's not all. When you go to the grocery store, when you go out of your house, do you have an intention of meeting and talking with somebody about Isagenix? Do you set your intention that when I leave my house today, I'm going to talk to somebody about Isagenix? Now, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't end up having that opportunity, but do you leave with that intention? And one of the ways to leave with that intention is, what is on your schedule? Do you even have a schedule? Have you set up an opportunity to meet with somebody? Have you set up an opportunity to go and get involved in the Chamber of Commerce or any of the free opportunities that are out there, right? Those of you that are in a BNI group, do you have a one-to-one setup, right? Do you have any one-to-one setup? When was the last time that you set the one-to-one, right? For those of you who don't know what that means, in BNI, Business Network, you're encouraged to sit down and have a cup of coffee or lunch or something like that with another person in your group so that you can have them give you information and then you can give them information about the things that you need from this business, right? And my number one ask that I always ask people is, introduce me to your other friends that are already doing network marketing. I had a lady today told me, well, she does Juice Plus and she's kind of like you, she's way up there. And I go, how much do you think she makes? Well, I don't know. I go, find out, because if it's less than, and I told her, I said, if it's less than about $250,000 a year, I'd like to talk to her, right? Because that's my level of confidence, right? Because they're like, oh yeah, they do this. Well, that's okay. Use that level of confidence. Now you guys share and create stories. Hey, I know somebody, well, they do pretty well with that business. Well, if they're making less than X, let me know. And if they say that's $1 million, I can connect you with the Isagenix person that we're connected with that's doing that as well, right? So don't think that money is an issue, right? Because there's always somebody out there that's looking. All right, next, practice. That is also what a one-to-one does. The daily actions, this is practice. Why do I go into the grocery store, or why do I go in and pay for my gas and walk inside to pay for my gas instead of pay for with a credit card at the pump? Go inside and practice talking to somebody. You don't have to practice talk about Isagenix. Practice saying hello and try to create a conversation, right? Try to get thrown out of a store. That really creates a conversation. Be like Carla, right? So work at having those conversations. Work at having those engagements with people that are practice. We get so comfortable in not talking to people because right now, you go places and people got masks on and stuff like that. And so then you get comfortable in not talking. Practice talking to people, right? And then if that conversation turns into something that's valuable, then expand on it. But just practice engaging with people, right? And then the last one, number 6, is events. So if you can get to another event, I would tell you to get to an event. If you can schedule something, get there. If you have to create your own, create your own. Who was it the other day said that, Stephanie Beebe said that she had an event and everybody was excited to be there and she signed up several people. I'm telling you guys, I know that people are ready to people are starving for attention. Be that person that puts those events together, like-minded people. And if you are like, and when I say like-minded, I truly mean that. So if you're someone who's like, hey, look, you know what, I'm very COVID aware, then have events with people who are also, right? Because but still get together. People still want that community, right? They want to be able to get around other people who feel the same about things that they do, right? So put those programs together and meet with other people, okay? Because those events, whether you attend them or you put them on, can be big deals, okay? Towards building your business. And that is my 6 steps. So Carla, go ahead if you've got something, and Danny, go ahead after Carla.
Yeah, how much time do I have?
Oh, 5 minutes.
Okay. So I have been doing isogenics for 4 years, but yes, in network marketing for 27, I've made a lot of friends, I've made a lot of money, and I've sold a lot of things, and I've learned a lot. So here's some tips for you guys, or some things, not tips, just things to think about being a professional network marketer. And I do see myself as a professional. So we have freedom, but we have to have self-discipline. We have unlimited income opportunity, but it might cost you some money at first. We have constant self-development available, but because we work for ourselves, we also have a lot of self-doubt. We have encouragers around us all the time, but we also have some haters. We can choose who we want to work with, but we also might lose some friends. There's a lot of tax benefits, a lot, but you still have to pay taxes. Now, does that sound like a network marketer, or does that sound like a regular business owner that you might know? So we are entrepreneurs, we are small business owners, and it's not always socially acceptable to be a network marketer. So when you refer to yourself and when you talk to yourself, say that you are whatever makes you feel the best. If saying that you're a network marketer makes you feel good, then say that. But if you feel better saying I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an independent business owner, I'm a small business owner, whatever you want to say, I'm an independent business owner in the health and wellness world. Maybe the group that you're talking to needs to hear that. Maybe the group you're talking to is going to shut you down when you say network marketer. Who cares? Doesn't matter. You don't have to push your way on them. It doesn't matter. You just want them to listen to you and be a part of what you're doing. They can figure it out later. Whatever you're doing, whatever you are doing, remember you're working for yourself and your family, and that's it. So it doesn't really matter what other people think. Trust me, I've heard it all. This opportunity that we have is a gift, and it's all about self-perception. If we say things like, I'm a network marketer, I'm a salesperson. I mean, I have talked that way about myself to other people in the past, and I will not do it anymore because it does not do anything for my self-esteem at all. And it doesn't give me any confidence. And when I'm confident, then I can focus on what I really want to do, which is loving on and serving people to help them have a healthy mind and body. That's it.
That's good stuff. The comment that she made that about your network marketers, guys, don't be afraid of it, right? Because so many people are just afraid of that. And I'm just, don't be afraid of it. Because if you are, then you got to take a few of those fingers down for what I do as for a profession. Because it was going through the I don't know, it was back when Jill was running her page and being really active. And this whole thing came up about how do you introduce yourself? Like Carla said, whatever your level of comfort is, use it. But when you get 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, don't be afraid of a throat punch, right? I never once, and even to this day, and I know I could be in some crowds where it might be not accepted, right? I'm a retired Phoenix police officer. Not even a hesitation, okay? Nor is there a hesitation when somebody says, what do you do? I'm a professional network marketer and I promote nutrition. I don't care. Because if I have to be something else, if I have to be something else, I just can't. So whatever your level of commitment is okay. Say whatever it is you want to say. You can obviously entrepreneur, that's 100% true, right? But if I'm talking to somebody, because most of the time and I guess when I'm talking about this, I would tell you when I'm talking to somebody, especially when it comes to for income, right? What do you do for a living, right? What I do for a living, I'm a professional network marketer, and we promote nutrition, right? Been doing it for 9 years. And I just don't have any hesitation with it. It doesn't bother me to say it. So keep that in mind, but you've got to get to where you feel comfortable saying it. Okay. You've got to get to that level. Danny, you got anything to add?
Yeah, real quick. Piggyback off what Brent said, be authentic, be authentic and be sincere, and don't be afraid to let everybody know that you're a network marketer. If you're confident in what you do, that will raise belief in other folks. Something else I would like to add is, if you're comfortable just enrolling people and sharing this with other people, and you are comfortable cycling a couple times a month, that's great. Hey, that's $100 a month, right? But if you're not talking about you share, they share with the people that you're enrolling, you're really missing the boat. Because as a business builder, one of your goals should be to create consultants. So get comfortable with the you share, they share, and share that with your folks. That's all I have.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you got you, and that goes back to education and knowing yourself. So that's good stuff. All right, I'm going to close it with this. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I saw this today, and so I thought I'd share it with you guys because it fit with our topic tonight of professionalism. The wealthy mind versus the broke mind. Okay, wealthy mind. Wealthy people talk about ideas. The broke mind talk about people. Right? You talk about ideas or do you talk about people? Wealthy mind focus on money and making money work for them, and the broke mind focuses on, what am I going to do with my money? How am I going to spend it? Right? How are you going to spend your money versus how are you going to make your money work? The wealthy mind surrounds itself with like-minded people, right? And it talks about the theory of 5, right? The 5 people you hang around the most. Okay. How do those 5 people impact you the most? What does that do? Now, I don't want you to confuse what I'm saying specifically with just money. Okay. Wealthy can also be your personal health. It can also be your spiritual health, right? So think about the people that you hang around the most. If you're working on your spiritual health and you're hanging around people that aren't spiritual, right? If you're trying to be healthy and you're hanging around people that aren't healthy, right? That's feeding your mind, right? That can be the wealthy mind versus the broke mind. It just doesn't have to be just money only, okay? And then the last one is be proactive versus being reactive, okay? So many people are, if you are a wealthy minded person, you're going to be proactive. I can't tell you how many times when Tracy and I were going through our most difficult times with our finances, the most difficult of difficult times, when we were just like, I'll tell the story real quickly. I had a Jeep that I loved it. I had to sell it because I needed to be able to have enough money to make the mortgage payment. Okay. So I had to sell my Jeep to be able to pay our mortgage on our house. And I hated it. I hated that day. I loved that Jeep, right? But I had to be proactive with that activity versus waiting until somebody said, hey, look, we got to take that from you too. You've got to act in advance of the negative. You've got to act in advance of the negative. And when you're being reactive, then you're constantly reacting, and that's stressful, you guys. That's super stressful, trying to constantly be on the reactive. Get yourself back on the attack. Get yourself back on the proactive side of all these things. And one of the things you can do to be proactive is start writing down your goals on what you want. And then break that down and start taking those steps towards those goals. Okay. Write down one goal. I'm challenging all you guys. This is what I want you to do. I want you to write down one goal that you have. Reference Isogenics. Just one goal. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's fitness, financial, whatever it is. Okay. But I want you to write down one goal, and then I want you to write down one action that you're willing to take towards that goal. Okay. Just one. Nice and easy. One goal, one action you're going to take towards that goal. And for Carla, because I know she's got a whole shit ton of goals, take the primary goal you have and the primary action that you have and just have it there. Right? So we can talk about next week. So you can say, yeah, this is what I did. I moved this goal up to the top, and this is the action that I took. Right? So, and thanks, Danny, for doing your Penny 3 days in a row or 5 days in a row, whatever it is you did, because I've now successfully done Penny 4 days in a row. 4 days in a row. I haven't done that in a minute. So just letting you guys know, I don't do it always either, right? All right, that's all I got. We're at 40 minutes on our time clock here. April, you got anything you want to add to wrap it up?
Our parents are kind of those negative forces. So we can only be around them briefly. So you all probably have similar family experiences. But no, I would say Danny, good job, because he was on the call that I hosted like last week or something, and he was really committed to doing that daily action. So good job, Danny. And I had a busy calendar day of events today, and I haven't had that in a while. And it's really great to get that change of energy. So anytime you can take advantage of events, chamber, networking, whatever, do it, even if you're not even going to talk to anybody, because the energy will bring you up, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Good stuff. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being on the call. Next week is, I think I said it before, but I don't know where it's at. What's the next one, Carla?
I don't know. I didn't write all those down.
You didn't?
I don't think so.
All right, number 2.
Brent, for you sent your video.
Yeah, belief. So we're going to talk a little bit about belief, and that'll be belief in, again, belief in the professionalism, right? Because we're going to bounce back up to them, but also belief in isogenics and why it's okay to have that. Okay.
And I did write it down. I forgot. And she said the rise of the entrepreneur. There's a video out if you guys want to search that and maybe watch it before Tuesday. Eric
That's a great
Worre's
one.
The Rise of the
That's great.
Entrepreneur.
Can you put that in in Working for the Beach, Carla? Do you have it? If you don't, I'll do it. I can do it. I'll put it in there. Rise of the Entrepreneur. That's a great video. So
I'll Google it. Yeah.
I'll clip it and put it in there. All right. All right, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Thank you guys for being on here. I appreciate it. Make sure you invite some other people to be on here next week. For all rocking and rolling.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.